Hi guys, we're just going to have a little run through on our long wheelbase HiAce just to show you guys sort of what we've been developing for the car, what's coming to market. We've been talking about things for probably 6 months now, what we're going to do with it. Some things other companies have done for us, and then some things we've developed ourselves. So just want to give you a run over, hopefully you get some ideas for your own build. You've obviously seen on our socials so far what we've been doing with this van, the places it's been, and towing boats up through Nagala Rocks, Fraser Island. Like, this thing is a bit of an outback touring vehicle that has got some serious legs. So come along, we'll show you what we've done, and let's get into it. While I've got you, if you're keen to see what our 4x4 HiAce is capable of, just ask Jeremy Clarkson. Head on over to the Film Invitational website. It's a great watch. Oh no.
There's no way we can handle another day of this.
Oh, it's a proper race.
We can't slow down.
Oh, no way.
Don't you come back.
Oh!
I can't believe how much power this HiAce actually has.
I'm surprised.
It hauls ass on sand.
35s definitely help a bit.
Pretty cool to have 35s on a van.
On a van, yeah. Maybe we should just do it all again.
Yeah.
Yeah! We'll give you a look through the fit out and a few updates on what we've been tinkering with. First of all, you've got your air hoses. These are awesome. Look how dirty it is. We've used it so many times. We kept on popping beads, low pressure in the tyres, so this thing was a saviour. Reaches all sides of the vehicle. Even little things like the shower. This shower hose is awesome. Turn the pump on and away you go. But even this, like washing the mud out of the bead when we're full driving this one time, was just so handy to have. Like, to reach all the way around the other side of the vehicle. It's also great, go surfing, come out, wash the surfboards off, wash ourselves off. That's a great little bit of initiative that Kareem at Unwind Designs put in there for us. So now that we've had the fit out for probably the better part of 8 months now, which is a long time, but what we've done with the van is accelerated testing, I guess you'd say. It's phenomenal. We love it. Like, the kitchen still pulls out beautifully. It's still super functional. There's nothing we really changed. Maybe put a couple of doors here and there to hold things in. But as far as the layout goes, we absolutely love it. It's like a 2-person house. You can be operating out this door with a kitchen. You can be operating out the back door as well, doing a bit of maintenance and bits and pieces. So overall, fit out's awesome, and a bit of a nod to Karim for the quality and the craftsmanship of this thing. It holds together so well. This is the Cruiser Company bull bar. It's their second revision of what they're offering. They've obviously got the hoop design you can see on Andrew's HiAce. Wasn't really a massive fan of the hoops. I didn't want the extra weight, and the van's tall enough anyway, so not too worried about kangaroos. But seriously impressive nudge bar. It's still the 5mm steel, so it's pretty over-engineered. The winch in the front, it's a 13,000-pound winch from Carbon Off-Road. That thing's awesome. You can see the battle scars on it. We've used that a fair bit. And these are a light force light bar. So we've got one at the front and then one at the top as well. So you don't really need them. The lights on a HiAce are pretty good. We just put them on there to fill up the bar a little bit. Sort of adds to the aesthetics a bit more than anything. Just for the bar, guys, just want to show you some of the features of it that they've added. They've got these bash plates that come on here, and they also do a full protection plate that goes underneath now and also onto the wings. So that's 3mm plate, just to give you that added protection for sort of sticks flicking up. There also is, so the front of the HiAces does have a big plate sort of that the bar bolts onto, like traditional bull bars really, but they now supply with a chassis clamp, so to speak, that clamps around the chassis, bolts through it both ways, and then the bar sort of bolts through the face plate into that chassis clamp. As you can see, we've switched over to the Toyo Mud Terrain tyres. The tyres we had on before looked great, but they wore away quite quickly when we started doing the off-road tracks. We've got a few punches as well, so we switched over to these Toyos, and they've been bloody awesome. As you can see, they've got hardly any wear marks in them. We've been giving this thing an absolute bootful, so it definitely should have some by now. It also seems to be what a lot of the farmers are using. It's like you go out west and you just see all the farmers, all the old school farmers, and they've got Toyos. So bit of a shout out to them. I think they're a fantastic tire. They're not cheap, but they're fantastic. It's a 16 inch rim, it's a 315/75, so equivalent to a 35-inch tire, which you don't need it, but it's pretty awesome. Gives us plenty of diff clearance under that front cradle. Just to add to that, we've imported our own suspension systems now as well. These are prototypes, so we're not selling them yet, but this is a adjustable shock design, so adjustable compression and adjustable height as well. So, and also an adjustable reservoir on the top as well, so you can adjust your rebound and your compression, or your dampening, so to speak, from the shock. Pretty impressive bit of kit. We've just got to get the springs upgraded because we're pretty well full compression on the spring here. So as you can see, it's quite a heavy car by the time you've finished putting all the bar work on it and fitting out the inside. So once we've upgraded the springs, we'll do a bit more testing and then we'll probably look to release it to the market as well. So far, we're absolutely loving them. They're a great bit of kit and they're strong, super strong compared to the factory stuff. So as you can see, we've got the dual spares on the back of the rear bar here. You're probably wondering why the dual spares. We're setting this up for full outback touring, like long distance, see you later for a couple of weeks type of thing. So we've opted for the dual spares. It has actually come in handy already, just locally. We popped a bead twice on the one side through low pressure, trying to get through a tricky situation. So having dual spares actually came in handy, even just locally. We don't feel we've compromised on storage because we've still got these cheeky kids storage bags. They're awesome. They're super spacious in here. We've got two bins. We've got our recycling and our main rubbish bin, which holds the bag out a little bit. Bin liners are stored in there. These are all empty, but when you go overlanding, you put like all your dirty shoes in here, your recovery gear, bits and pieces. So they're a fantastic bit of kit. They're only a new company, but they're awesome, cheeky kids. And they cover the wheel too, so it's a bit of protection for the wheels. No point getting sun damage on the wheels if you're not even using them. And then over this side, we've just got firewood and more recovery gear underneath it. And again, these pockets are empty on the side, so still put stuff in here if we need to. So we feel like it's a good compromise. You've got your two spares, you haven't got your lockable storage boxes, but we've still got the storage we need because everything lockable goes inside anyway. Ladders, make our own ladders. These are the short ladder, which obviously go from here onwards. You need, just if you've got two spares, so like when both these spares are closed, I can still climb up and down. So you're not always having to open them up. And we do a full length ladder as well that goes from the bottom to the top, which matches, it suits a long wheelbase and also the super long wheelbase as well. So keep that in mind if you've got a super long. It's the same rear and front end as the super long too. So these rear bars and front bars work on both models. We supply with these toe ball steps. Comes with all of our roof conversions or of our premium model roof conversions. It's just a little intermediate step. We have had to do the drop down tow hitch for the boat just to keep the, like the angle of the towing low because the van is so tall. So we've just got everything on the Victron manager. Obviously everything gets controlled by here, but we just turn the actuator power on and then hit the button and the roof goes up. So while it's happening, we'll have a bit of a chat outside, but you can see like roof's down right now and I can feel that's there, but when I sit back, I'm in that sort of cavity. Usable space when the bed's down. Like you can't do this in any other of our vehicles. You just can't, you're too cramped, it's too much hassle. So at least with the HiAce, you've kind of got your downstairs couch or bed because it slides out. So you can have two upstairs, two downstairs. But you know, I could be sitting here and you know, doing some work on a laptop or something, or making a bit of food or a cup of coffee, and my partner can still be upstairs having a sleep. So she loves it. We've got a 150 litre water tank at the bottom. That's on the back here. Can't even reach it, it's right up there. It's tucked pretty far up. They're super slimline. They're made by Touring Tanks. They're a pretty new company, but they're making the tanks out of poly. So like the same poly that you build, like people make water tanks out of for properties. So it's food safe, but super lightweight, and it's like 8 or 10 mil thick or something. So when you hit rocks, which we've done plenty of, we'll actually show you the difference between a steel tank and the plastic tank, because the steel tank, which is my long range tank, has got massive cavities in it now from off-roading. Whereas the plastic tank at the back hasn't, well, it's been hit, it's been smashed, but it's totally fine. So side steps. These are by Dirty Bars. Taj, great kid, he's in WA. They're made overseas, it's a bit annoying, but they're still a great product. As you can see, we didn't have them on there in time, but the cool part about them is that they come down electronically. So just with the bus 4x4 lift, because it is such a high lift, having electric side steps is almost a must, especially if you're doing large tyres like we have, because your steps up here, like that's a long way down every single time you're getting in and out of your van, especially if you're a little bit older. So this is a great midway step. They're awesome. They do flex a bit, but we've had a couple of us on here and it's never broken, so I think they're pretty solid. But yeah, in terms of just straight up and down, close your door, step goes away, and it tucks up nice and neat too. So huge fan of those. Well done, Taj. You've done a great job, mate. So thank you. So just another thing as well, touring tanks, the guys who made that rear water tank, we were going to do all it ourselves, but we've just run out of time, as you can probably tell, because I was saying 6 months ago that we were going to do it. So these guys have taken over it. Anyway, they've scanned this HiAce and they've got about 110 litres of extra liquid on this side. So in 3 individual tanks as well. So if you don't want to just make that all water, you could do like a little bit of water, grey water, and even some diesel if you want. So they're poly tanks. The black ones are poly tank food safe, and then they also can spin the mold with a yellow tank as well, yellow plastic, which is obviously diesel safe. Not good for petrol, but these are diesel anyway. So you can add, you know, if you've got a long range tank, which we do, the Brown Davies, it's got 160, 165 litres of fuel in it, of diesel. So if you want to add an extra, you can just do all 3 tanks. If you want extra 110, you could have potentially like 270 litres of fuel, which is absolutely huge, and still have your 150 litres of water at the back, which is pretty optimal for most people. Something to keep in mind if you are building one of these, get the single door, not the double door, because you get all this underbody storage under here. And it's tucked right up too, like it's above this sill. It's like it's in here. It's awesome. So just something to keep an eye on. We've also developed a 180 awning, which suits the HiAce quite well, and I'll explain why. With the 180, the biggest issue we had, because we didn't really want to build another product, we're quite busy with our own products. So the issue with the HiAce is you need to bolt to this B pillar because it's really strong. You can't bolt along here, there's just 0 strength. It's a tin can, unfortunately. So that's super strong, and the corner in here is super strong because you can access the inside and do up a proper bolt instead of just nutserting to tin. So we had no choice because we tried to find a 180, but we couldn't. We made a choice to make our own. We've essentially got our 270 and just removed the last 2 sort of pieces of the awning. That's 2.6 long. So if you're planning on using an existing awning and you want to use these mounts or put it on the way we put it on, it needs to be 2.6 meters long, or at least 2.55. Otherwise, your awning only comes to about here, like most awnings on the market do, which is the only reason why we made our own, to be able to span that distance. So it's 6 ounce canvas instead of 8 ounce. All of our awnings now are actually 6 ounce, but the 6 ounce canvas just allows us to have a lighter awning, easy to put away when it's cold, whereas the tent is still 8 ounce because you need that extra strength. So 6 ounce awning, can't really tell the difference. So I just took it onto the back door, just unscrew one of the little screws. It's an M6 bolt, so you can put in there as well, like a little eyelet if you want, M6 eyelet. Push that door up. So pull it tight, because the tighter it is, the less the wind gets under it. And then if you're setting up camp properly, then you can put this up properly as well. It's a rain gutter, just to bridge that gap between the door and the finger. So you just tuck the gutter up, grab the door, just tuck it up. The gutter's got these magnets sewed into it, so it magnetizes to the top of the door. So rain comes down, hits that, drains off, runs off the door, runs off here, whatever. But at least, because some people are putting barbecues on their wheels here, so you know, at least you can still use your barbecue without getting rained on. It's pretty handy. Okay, so inside the van, the fit out, now that we've sort of wrapped our head around it a bit more, this is your Victron Energy sort of interface controlling everything. So this also controls the electric struts as well. So we've got our, you know, compressor on, fridge, water pump, water heater. Then you've got another section here for actuator. So we've set this so the actuator fully isolates when it's off, And then once you've turned it on, you then have the up and down buttons, just for another factor of safety. The roof lights and the roof power is also on another switch too. It's more just so when you're shutting your van up for a couple of weeks at a time or months at a time, whatever, you can just turn everything off and not have to think about little bleeds, like little drawers. Like just here, USB is like there's a little blue light coming out. It's like, it's nothing, right? But you know, over a couple of months, it's going to affect the battery. So there's those all scattered around, scattered around the fit out. Bed base off, bed base on, sidewalls off, and they're also dimmables, but they're pretty cool. We love these. So brighter or dimmer. They're great for nighttime when you're hanging out down here. You've obviously got your drawer here where you can just store bits and pieces, laptops, books, chargers, that's all. And we just keep all of our clothes up here. So clothes cupboard, and then this is our dry food slash air fryers. We've been away camping with a couple of mates, so we've got a few air fryers in here at the moment. That is probably the beauty of this system too. Like you can run 2 air fryers, the fridge, the induction cooktop, the air conditioning. You can run all that at the same time. Like, not that you need to do that, but it's a pretty cool little luxury that you don't have to think about your power usage. So upstairs, as you can see, we have updated the roof conversion. We flipped this roof around just because it's so much more ergonomical having the rear opening. Like, say I was a really tall guy and I needed to have those open to sit here, I could, because you've got that much space. Like, you've got like 800 millimeters of channel here, whereas with the front opening roof, you've got like a 400 millimeter channel. Like, you can't operate. You've got to have the bed up to be able to operate. Obviously, when the bed's down, you can sit underneath it like this. But if you're tall and you need the access doors open to function in your fit out, then you need to go the rear opening. It's much better, which is predominantly why we did it. So the bed design is probably the biggest difference as well. The way we design the bed now, it's much lighter and it's much stronger. So it's all 2mm aluminium, and we've just laser welded it together. Obviously you got your 4 interior lights, but you've just got your head clearance. So when you're sitting on the bench, or on this side if you have a fit out with the bench this side, you've got that extra head clearance here. Instead of the normal bed thickness is that thick, so all the way across. So we've removed that aircraft material, which was fantastic and was great for its time, but we've since developed a lighter, stronger, way more effective solution. It's a lot easier to build too. So that's that. Access doors are obviously the same to follow suit. As you can see, the timber's on here because it's a premium model. The standard model's just got carpet. I don't know if you can see there, but we've also got the timber in the roof as well. So timber in the roof is an added feature to the premium model. Obviously we've got everything that we offer on this van, so we can show you guys what we do. The way we finish it as well, like these trims. So this is a lower frame of conversion up here with the sail truck on it. These are obviously our mounts that connect the conversion to the body of the car. It's glued down as well, but these are obviously additional mounts. And then these are the trims which just sort of fill in that void between where you typically carpet when you do a fit out, and obviously like the underside of the van there where you're just seeing all the holes and factory holes, and just sort of like an underspray of the vehicle. So it just finishes it off a bit nicer. The airbag model is the same, except the headliner kind of continues along in order for the airbags to remain compliant, because they've got to, when they deploy, the airbag, curtain airbags, they've got to go down the side of the window. So having a different trim there is a mandatory, but you can't really tell the difference when you look at it like this. So upstairs, I'll show you what the bed entails upstairs. So one door there. So I'm standing on the downstairs couch. You can either jump up here, or my partner just jumps up on the cabinetry like this, and then she's up. So you're into your bed. And then you can just go ahead and close your doors. Close your doors. So upstairs, as you can see, HiAce bed is 1450 wide. So I think that's just over a double, not quite a queen, but it's the length of a queen. It's like 2.1 meters long. So plenty of length here. As you can see, we've got 2 blankets in here. We've got our pretty heavy blanket, then our thick fluffy blanket on top. So you can fit a fair bit in here. 2 pillows, and we also put pillows across the access door as well in case we need them. So you've got heaps of cavity space, which is great. As you kind of want it when you have such a big vehicle. Just want to be able to carry whatever you want. So as per normal, you got your fans, like in your troopies and everything else. So Obviously winter, so we're not using them. So we've just got the chargers sitting in here. We're actually using to charge our iPhones. USB-C and USB-A outlets. They're fast charging as well, which is awesome. Obviously light at the top. And then we also do reading lights as well. So we haven't got them in this model because we didn't have them at the time. But essentially there's a reading light that screws into this crossbar here, little reading light here, and it's like the ones we've got downstairs. So it's on a flexible hose. So you can sit here, read a book and use those lights. It's also nice when you climb into bed at night time, you can just climb up, hit one of those lights, and then, you know, it's just there when you want to turn it off when you want to go to sleep. So in terms of the actual tent and the design, it's all the same as all of our roof conversions. It's all that one zip windows to get you through the mesh and the canvas in one. Just obviously much larger. So standing height in here is like 2 meters. So when you're closing the tent up, you've got these bungee cords which we've made up. We supply you obviously. So you got a super long one, then you got 2 the same length. The long one goes at the end here, clip it on and clip it on. That just pulls a bit of tent in there. And then, well, the windows are down now, so we're not going to need to put one, but you usually put one from the window to the corner and from the window to the corner, and that just sucks the whole tent in. The only thing you need to worry about, if you've got your awning still attached to the side of the tent, you do have to just tuck those in as the roof comes down, the final bit. So that's how they work. But we just store them up here when we've got the roof open. Just a quick touch on the access doors. We've taken our access doors cushions out because we're not tall enough to need them, and allows the door to go up a little bit higher, so a bit more access up and down. Access doors on the bed. In the premium model, it's 100 millimeters thick, and you've got about 25 millimeters of memory foam on top. So super comfy, heaps of thickness, you don't have to worry about it. So you can put a mattress topper on top if you like. We don't really think you need it, but if you want to, there's enough room there to put it in. So with the windows as well, guys, it's the same as our other tents on all of our other models. So it's the same canvas, we've had a really good run with it, we like it. Single zip window, so as you can see here, can you see that? One zip undoes, I've rolled it up. One zip undoes the whole window, and then the inner zip moves the canvas out the way and then leaves the fly screen up. Well, it's more of a midgie mesh too, by the way, so super fine midgies stay out. But because the windows are so large, it just allows that airflow to come through. That's kind of the whole point of the design of our tents, is to make it feel like you're on a safari. You don't want to feel like you're in a closed cabin or like a swag type feel. You want to feel open and massive, and that's quite literally what these windows do. These are our electric struts. They're massive, as you can see, like the rams on it are huge. So again, massively over-engineered, but there's not really an option when you're bringing electrics into, you know, lifting your roof up and down to access your bed every night. So massively over-engineered, but these things aren't going anywhere. They're great. All right, so if we're in a cold environment, or it's winter, we'll just have the access doors open and then we'll leave the heater running. So in here we've got 200 amps of 48 volt battery. It's a custom lithium, custom designed battery for this fit out. It's an amazing bit of kit, but 48 volts at 200 amps is equivalent to 800 amps at 12 volt. So it's a phenomenal amount of power, or reserve power. And it runs off our inverter, and then the air conditioner runs all night long. So in the morning, we wake up, you can still get enough power in the bank to make your breakfast and bits and pieces, but then you're on the road, so within a couple of hours, the battery's charged up anyway. So that's a pretty phenomenal feature, A, about the 48 volt system, and B, having a custom lithium battery that's 200 amp hours of 48 volt. I think it's one of the biggest ever been made. So it's awesome to have that inside the van, that we can just run the heater all night long, or the aircon. You know, in summer, we'll just run the air conditioner. There's a port over here, and we just put this massive vacuum hose in there, sticks into the port, and it just blows all the cold air up into here. Leave one of the doors open, and the cold air just sits on top of the bed. It's amazing. So whether it's hot or cold, you've kind of got yourself covered in the van. It's pretty comfy. Turn the lights on. Move these cushions out of the way. And I'm just going to show you guys how the shower sets up. This door opens. The reason why that's so thick is because that actually comes off and attaches to there. Unwind Design's built all this, it's pretty genius. So there's a leg inside here which props up this, and then where I am now, under here, this finger bed comes out and hooks onto here. So that's how you get your downstairs bed. So these back rests become your bed cushion. It's pretty awesome. This is a shower. The top of this hooks onto the bed base. Lift it right down, however far you want. You're inside the shower like this. So it's pretty big space inside here. The ring at the top holds it open. So we just put like a towel and just put our soap and stuff on here. We haven't really, we're making like a hanging organizer, but for now we haven't established that. So that's in here. Obviously you just zip that up, get the water in, and then shower head hangs from the top here, up the top. And in the bottom here I've got a foot pedal. And the foot pedal, when I push that, I'm not going to do it now because I get soaked, but obviously water pump on, water heater on, and then push the foot pedal, and I've got a thermostat set to 38 degrees because that's the temperature my partner and I like. And we'll set it to 38, and then just push the pedal and water comes out, that's it. So you can have a shower in here and be like sort of washing your hair and washing your body and not having to worry about turning a tap on and off because it's just on the foot pedal on the floor. So I'll show you guys what it looks like. And then the drain plug just straight down to the floor. It's pretty cool, pretty quick to set up as well. And again, like in winter, this is what this is for, it's for winter. Obviously you want to shower outside when you can, but in winter, doors closed, air conditioning on, heater, 38 degrees on the water, and we'll set this to like 28 or 30 degrees on the aircon, and then we'll just have a shower and obviously the dry air as well, obviously dries out the tent when it's finished. It's pretty cool. It folds into itself. And that just lives in the bottom of the tray. So when your kitchen's away, obviously you've still got functionality of your fridge. When you lift the cushions off. The coffee machine still functions inside as well. So obviously inverter's always on because you've got so much power in here. So in the morning it's a cup of tea. It's quite easy just to run the boiling water out of the steam pipe, and you can just fill up a cup and then make a cup of tea and off you go again. It's just so easy. You're not having to get utensils out and pots and pans. Obviously when it's pushed in like this, you can still use a cooker. You can still use a sink. Just make sure the plug's in there, otherwise it fills up the van. Only limitation, you can't access this drawer, which is a bit of a bugger, but you know, you just put utensils that you're using inside the car in a different drawer, so you can still access it when you're inside the car. Extra little table here. Got a nook there to put all our coffee bits and pieces, blender, teas. Obviously your coffee machine, breadboard just slides in there nicely. We've got our spreads in this drawer here. Bits and pieces that we use all the time. Obviously soaps. We're making a few of these actually. Just so you can, with a little ledge on it, just to put bits and pieces on. Partner wants to have flowers dangling down, or plants, so that's what that's going to be used for. Obviously your dual burner induction cooktop, and you've got your utensils in here as well. Bit of a drawer at the end here, just for odd bits and pieces. And the best part of our pull-out kitchen is the back of this fridge, because we have these little Temu drying racks. They're awesome. Pots, pans, utensils, everything. Because it's perforated, it just dries really well because the air gets to it. So these are awesome. We just made a coffee, straight to the bin at the back. That's the best part about this. You can either leave the bin in the bag, or when we're cooking, so it's fully camped up, we'll just pull the bin out and leave it here. But in the meantime, yeah, just poke it straight in the bag. So with our switches, we've got pump, compressor, lights, and nothing. So these are remote controls, but we just glue it onto here because it saves getting inside the car. So the pump's turning on, pressurizing. Pull that out, and then you've got a hot water shower outside the car. So that's medium, that's cold. Then when you go full hot, obviously there's a lot less pressure because you've got to run through the whole heater. But like that is, oh, it's warming up. Okay, it's getting hotter. Okay, so there you go, that's pretty damn hot. So turn it down a little bit, and then you just got your outdoor shower. So yeah, you could definitely have like some sort of shower head that you put it on, I don't know. We just kind of hold it, because typically if we're showering outside, we've been to the beach. So there we go, outdoor shower, easy done. And then you just push it back in. So unlike a normal kitchen where like it's got a weight in the cabinetry that pulls the hose back, obviously this cabinetry is that deep, so the weight is removed and then we've just got to feed it back up again. So, I don't know, pretty good trade-off. So now that the roof's up, you can sort of get a bit of an idea of what we've got up there. At the moment it's pretty empty, but we fill it up with surfboards and kayaks when we go away. As you can see, a couple of mat tracks, there's 4 of those. They're actually pretty heavy, surprisingly, so electric rams come in handy. Shovel, and we're putting a Starlink up there as well. So with the roof racks, you can see these new ones that we've brought out. They're super slimline as well, instead of being that higher profile. So keep the weight down a little bit more. You can see we've got a spotlight at the front, and we're just running that through our Anderson socket. So there's 2 Anderson sockets up there. You can use them for whatever you want. We call them solar and lights, because typically it's solar panels and spotlights. You can do whatever you want with it, but we run that down into our auxiliary battery at the back, and it runs that spotlight at the top, and obviously comes on and off with the high beams. So that's pretty cool about the roof conversion. Everything's already sort of plumbed through the conversion into the car. So all you've got to do is just plug into it and away you go. With the crossbars, you can have as many crossbars or as little as you like. There's about 7 crossbars on here. I just like them a good sort of walking distance apart because I spend a lot of time climbing around my roof racks. I don't really sort of throw stuff up and do it from the side, obviously being a shorter guy. So climb up the ladder and then I just walk around the roof rack, no problem. So as I said, as many crossbars or as little as you like, and then they're just fully adjustable. You just undo these little bolts on the side and you can slide them up and down. It's pretty cool. All right, that's a bit of wrap up of our long wheelbase HiAce. Stay tuned though, because we've got a super long version of one of these coming through very shortly. It's actually been finished. We're just trying to get some time to film the damn thing. So stay tuned. It's going to have the bus 4x4 conversion going into it as well. We're going to see how bigger wheels we can put on it again. And the roof conversion's also a little bit different. So stay tuned and follow along.